go, run, go, go, go. I am so tired. And I promised myself that this year I would be consistent, but something I'm learning throughout this month, and probably kind of even before this, but I'm really learning it as I'm trying to stay consistent, is that you have to be flexible and consistent in the midst of being flexible. It sounds so complicated, and it's really not. Okay, I know this is probably like the weirdest angle for y'all, but it's so funny because when I put the camera up here, it doesn't look as clear as when I put it down here. And somebody asked me in another video that I did what I've been using to film my videos, like what do I use, what equipment, and I typically use my Canon EOS. It's an old camera, and it's linked down in the description box, but here lately, like the last few months, I've been using my phone a lot more because I can simply just edit on CapCut on my phone and then transfer everything to my desktop. You know, if I have a free moment in my day, I'll work on editing. If I'm like playing with my son in his room and he just wants me in his presence and doesn't really care if I'm playing with him, then I'll just whip out my phone and start editing, so it's a lot more efficient. But yeah, so as I was saying, I am extremely tired. I'm really trying to stay on top of everything, and it's getting harder. Actually on my way to work right now. We've been having an influx of kids in, and I was not going to post a video because I've been trying to post every Monday and Thursday, and something was like, no, you are working on being consistent this year. I have this, what I'm calling my consistency diaries, or my year consistency, and I told my friend, I was like, I need to show the highs and the lows. Oh my god, so I'm riding through slush because it's like 20 degrees and there's water because there were so many busted pipes, but of course at 20 degrees it turns, I'm sliding, I'm sliding, turns into ice and slush at 20 degrees. So anyways, and this is me struggling with consistency and trying to remain flexible. Like this morning I was like, okay, I can spend the 10 minutes on my hair and makeup, 15 minutes, or I could just get dressed and get out the door. And I chose to get dressed and get out the door, so that's why I'm looking very much dead this morning. But I literally have so much work to do at work. My school classes started on Thursday, so I spent my entire weekend doing schoolwork, and I have 2 instead of 1. So I'm in a master's program, but I only have 6 or 7 classes because I already have my master's, so I'm just adding a certificate on top of it. So it's master's level courses, so it is a lot of work. I am a full-time teacher. I run a department within my school, and I am a mom, a full-time mom, single mom. My mom helps out a lot though. And I am very active at my church. So I have a very full and busy life, and trying to remain consistent in all areas of my life is proving to be very difficult, even at the beginning of the year, even with the systems I put in place. So I had some video ideas that I wanted to do, and I did not even get a chance to do them because I was just so busy. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to bring you along on my day and show you the highs and the lows of trying to remain consistent, trying to be productive, trying to just get it all done, like the real behind the scenes, good, bad, and the ugly. So I am heading to work. I will probably get there like in the next 5 minutes. I usually like to sit in my car once I get to work. Can you please go? My God. I like to sit in my car for a few minutes before I get out because I'm not a morning person. I'm not actually a people person. I'm very much introverted. I do not like to talk to people. And I am, my mom always says I'm on the spectrum. I'm very like focused. I'm go to work. And yes, I make friendships. And yes, I have friends and I have down moments. But if I know I have a lot to do, I don't want to talk. I don't want to have mindless conversation. I want to get the job done. And with my job, there's a lot of legal stuff that you just want to be careful with. So you don't have time to just be chit-chatting your day away. Like, you have to get stuff done. If you don't know, I'm a deaf ed teacher, a special education teacher. I'm certified for both. And I run the special education department. So there's a lot of legal stuff behind special education that you have to be careful with. You know, deadlines and making sure that everything's in compliance. So I'm going to bring you along my day. But, I lost my train of thought. Oh, I like to sit in my car for a few minutes because I don't like to talk. I share a room with 4 other adults because I have 3 interpreters who work under me, so they're in my room all day as well. And then one of the teachers in my department, because with special education, you don't like, with me, deaf ed, I do have my own room, but like resource teachers don't necessarily always get their own room, especially because there's not enough space. So I share a room with the resource teacher because she kind of didn't have a room, which is fine because we're really good friends. So, but it just means I never have a quiet moment in my room. I tend to hide in this closet that we had in our room if I need a moment to myself. But as soon as I walk in, somebody's going to start up a conversation. And so I either try to get here really early, or I just sit in my car and like have a moment to myself before I walk in the door. And we were running late today, and I'm supposed to be there at 8:10. It's 8:02, and I'll probably be there in the next 3 minutes. So I won't really have time to sit in my car and unwind. That's not how I like to start my day. So it is a little bit after 4:30. I think it's like 4:35. I'm about to leave to go pick up my child, and I just got off duty. Today was extremely long. If you want to send teachers presents, send us Germ-X and lotion, because you clearly see I'm struggling. Today was extremely long. I'm extremely tired. I'm going to warm up my lunch before I head out, because I just snacked on my chips and my banana, and we had kind of a full day with a new student. We've been getting an influx of new students, but a new deaf ed student kind of throws a wrench in your plans because you have to service them with an interpreter, and so that meant I was teaching half the day and interpreting half the day so that everybody got their breaks and that, you know, everybody got their services. So I'm tired, I'm drained. I'm just finishing up a few things, and then I am heading out, and I'm gonna feed Nichole, and then we have to go to church, and then I'll probably try to get some schoolwork done tonight for sure, because I don't want to get behind on that. last night was rough. We got home, made Cole a plate, and took it to church, and I just fed him during Bible study and then sent him to children's church. But during church, we found out that our daycare is closing after Friday. Hey guys, so it is Sunday. This has been a crazy week. I have not really got to do anything that I wanted. I feel like it has been crazy, and I don't even know where to start. Like, this has been a trying week. This has been a trying month, and we're only halfway through January, and like 2024 is already like, girl, please. Like, I have got to reset today. I have got to get my mind back focused, get my house in order. Like, my house is a hot mess. Like, there's clothes and just stuff everywhere. I need to wash clothes, I need to clean up, I need to go to the grocery store. This week was so hard because January started and we went back to work and classes started, and then my son's daycare, just life there, just I don't even have words. The daycare owner passed away suddenly, unexpected. She also goes to our church, so that was like a double whammy, because this is not just a random person. This was somebody who was actually a big part of our lives. So I guess it was a couple of weeks ago now. And then shortly after that, there were days where the daycare was closed, and so I had to take him to work one day with me. I stayed home the next day with him. So it was just all my work kept piling, but then I was not able to catch up on anything. And then a week later, we found out, which is this past week, we found out on Thursday night that the daycare was closing for good. No, we found out on Wednesday night the daycare was closing for good on that Friday, which was this past Friday. And so we had 2 days to secure a new daycare. Anybody knows anything about daycare, you don't just walk into a daycare and be like, I need a spot. So I was very stressed out, very overwhelmed. I still was trying to do my job at work, which is also becoming overwhelming because we're getting floods of students in. I personally, in my own department, got a student in that I really did not know how to service. So this is a whole new world for me, because there's definitely language barriers. And so it was just one thing after another. I was very anxious about finding a new daycare, because it's the only daycare he's been to. Thankfully, I found a daycare. First they said February 5th, and I was like, oh God, am I gonna have to take off work till February 5th? And then, the lady called back and said that they had a spot and they could get him started Monday. So I had to go fill out the daycare packets, pay all the fees, get him started. I actually still have to get him, they don't want a sheet, they want pillowcases to put over his daycare mat. So I have to go get him pillow. I don't know why they wouldn't want a sheet, and I might just take a sheet and see. I have a sheet for his toddler mattress, which I feel like that's kind of the same as a pillowcase. But I have to get all his stuff ready to go to this new daycare tomorrow. And the rest of his paperwork, his shop records, it's just a whole lot. And then it's just so many moving pieces when you're switching daycare, because then I had to change his ECI services. Because he's been getting ECI since he was 8 months. And if you don't know what ECI is, it's early childhood intervention for kiddos who are delayed. It's the baby version of special education. And so he has 3 different therapists. So I had to contact his specialist and be like, hey, we're moving daycares, and we're not just moving daycares within the city, we're moving daycares to the next city where I work. So he has to get all new therapists, so I had to reschedule all of that and sign paperwork for that. And I'm telling y'all, I was so overwhelmed. And this is the point in life where I get to that stopping point, and I'm it's just not worth it. Everything extra in my life is not worth it at this point. And it's typically the things that keep me going, the things that are for me specifically, my YouTube, or taking care of myself. I have not been to the nail shop
in weeks. And I had to go to the funeral yesterday and sing and serve the family, and I still hadn't had time to do my nails because I was doing classwork. So I literally like painted where it's so ghetto. I literally painted where my nails had grown out the same color just so I could make it through the day. Y'all, it's been rough. It's been rough. And so I think Cole can feel that, because then he like doesn't want to be out of my presence. I left early from church so that I could just come home and get a head start before he got back with my mom. But yeah, so I realized that this is the point where I get to like giving up on the things that I've set in place, on the goals I have, on the intentions, and I'm like, girl, you got to get it together. It is too early in the year to be giving up. And I was listening to Pastor Hannah just this morning, and he was talking about how when you're progressing, when you're working in an area that is in need of help, that's when the enemy comes in to send a problem and to send things because you are heading in the right direction. And I feel like I was definitely heading in the right direction. You know, I set my intentions and my goals. I was having my devotion, and then life just went. So I'm definitely going to get myself back on track today. And I don't know how, because I still have classwork to do that's due today. I want to get this whole house clean, and that is going to take hours, because when I say we've just been like throwing things, like shoes are kicked off here, running in, running out, like every day has been just like, I haven't cooked all week. I think I might have cooked twice. Luckily we have some leftover food from the funeral yesterday, because the caterers had amazing food, and so I didn't even eat. I just served the whole time and brought my food home, so I have food today. But yeah, I have a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it, and definitely feeling overwhelmed. But so the other thing, when I was like at work and just really like going through and feeling overwhelmed, we were reading a story with the kids in English, as I travel to different subjects to help out. And one of the lines in the story, we were talking about people being victims or people being overcomers, and like doing a compare and contrast in an argument. And one of the sentences in the story really resonated with me, and I said, this is going to be my quote or my theme for February, because we're almost to February, and January has been really hard for me to stay consistent, but I am determined. So this is what we were reading. It says, here's the thing. We all face challenges, and life treats us all unfairly. We all make regrettable choices, and we suffer from things thrust upon us due to little, if any, fault of our own. The greatest adversity life can throw you simply affords you an opportunity to make changes, improve, and get better. So I am being flexible, because this week has been crazy, and making the necessary changes, and I'm going to keep going. And I hope that throughout this chaotic vlog, that you leave with that. Like, life's gonna throw us so many ups and downs, but don't give up. Take a break, pause, reset, and get back on it, and get back to those goals. Because February, March, this time of year, I feel like this is when we fall off. You know, this is when everybody's like, all right, I've lost steam already. Like, so much has happened. And I'm going to say personally, within our families, our churches, our community, we have lost so many people since the beginning of the year. And it's only the 17th, the 18th, 19th, the 20th. It's only the 20th. So yeah, that's very mentally and emotionally draining, but I believe that with our consistency, the Lord is going to reward us for remaining consistent. I have to believe that. So I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to try to get some work done and get my life in order so that I can have a productive, non-stressful week, because the Lord worked it out. So we have daycare. Everything's great now. Not great, because I'm very nervous about him starting this new daycare, but at least he has somewhere to go, because we were all scrambling, all nervous, all worried. And I still don't think some of our daycare friends have daycare yet. So I'm very grateful that we at least secured a spot. And it's really close to me, and I can go check on him anytime. So I feel really good about that. So yeah, y'all pray for my baby, because he is starting somewhere new, and he's been at this one place since he was 2 months. So let me get moving.